Hi and welcome to another carpenter tutoring tutorial. I'm Amy and my job is to help you work smarter, not harder, so you can get through your work more quickly and with less stress. Today we are going to talk about factoring polynomial equations using the grouping method. This method is not as common as some of the other ones we've discussed, but is really handy if you find yourself in a situation with four terms that look suspiciously similar. Every now and then, textbook creators and worksheet creators will create an equation they anticipate you solving with factoring by grouping. If you don't know about this method, you'll feel stuck. So it's a good one to get familiar with and have in your back pocket, even though it doesn't come up all the time. Factoring by grouping is also a helpful skill to have to help with certain quadratic equations when your a value is something other than 1. It's not the only way you can handle it, but I think it's the least messy way to do it, so this can be helpful for that as well. We're going to start out with the equation 2c cubed minus 18c squared minus 20c plus 180 equals 0. I know that I'm able to move ahead into my next steps because I have set my equation equal to 0, and as I look through, I see that I do have some greatest common factors I would be able to take out. As I look at all of these values, I see that they are all divisible by 2. Since we're dividing out a number greatest common factor, that means that I can just divide it out of each term and I don't have to represent that 2 on the outside. So dividing out this 2 leaves us with c cubed minus 9c squared minus 10c plus 90 equals 0. Now in factoring by grouping, we need to use two groups of 2 terms and take out the greatest common factor of that group. I'll take a look at the groups c cubed minus 9c squared and negative 10c plus 90. It's important that any signs travel with the terms that come behind them, telling us the signs for those terms. In my first group, c cubed minus 9c squared, I see that I have a greatest common factor of c squared. I'll take that c squared out of each term, and that leaves me with c minus 9. In my second term, I see that I can take out a 10 from both negative 10c and 90. When I take out that 10, I'm left with negative c plus 9. I know that I've done my factoring by grouping correctly if the two expressions inside parentheses match each other completely. Taking a look at what we have right now, I see that we're really close, but the signs don't match. If you get into that situation, what you can do is take out a negative 1 from one of the 2 terms. I usually like to keep my variable greatest common factor positive, so I'm going to go ahead and take a negative 1 out of the second group. So I'll take out a negative 1. This turns my greatest common factor into negative 10 and leaves me with c minus 9 on the inside. Now that I have both parts of my original equation with their greatest common factor taken out, and I've made sure that the 2 expressions in parentheses match each other, I can use these to form the factored form of this equation. The first of my factors is going to be that repeated expression in the parentheses. So I'll have c minus 9. My second factor comes from the 2 greatest common factors that I had pulled out, the c squared and the negative 10. This will give me a factor of c squared minus 10. And I knew to use subtraction instead of addition here because of the sign on this greatest common factor. Don't forget that this is all still equal to 0. All right, from here, we could use difference of squares to break down that c squared minus 10 factor even further, but that's a different skill. So as far as our grouping is concerned, we are done and we have gotten down to our factors. I hope this video was helpful. Let me know in the comments if there is anything else that you'd like me to cover, different equations or different topics that you'd like to see. As always, thank you so much for spending part of your day with me, and I'll catch you next time.